sponsored by Incogni. The time has come to finally, once again, go fishing for more Tinder scammers. Well, my name is Dallas aka Infurness, and welcome to the series To Catch a Catfish. Today, we're going to be basically doing exactly that, and instead we're going to be using stuff like Bumble, and also some other dating apps which are not so frequently used, like Hinge, for example, because even Hinge deserves some love every now and then for being irrelevant. Now, we have 3 characters that we're going to be using. The first one is called Forward Fred. The second one is Dynamus Punjab, Dennis Simpleton. We use 3 because this way we have some variety when we're going after the targets of the videos. This way, they don't get instantly suspicious about what we're doing. Wondering how it's even possible to find this many catfish profiles, as if every single dating app ever isn't already filled with them? All you need to have is multiple accounts, and then go around mass liking every single profile on the app, and the ones that always DM you first are the ones that tend to not be real. Tinder being about over 40% of all accounts not being real are simply using language models to automatically message a potential victim. So if you end up being reeled in by a catfish, most of the time you won't even have the luxury of being scammed face to face, but instead just by ChatGPT. That's what makes this good, because we can basically just turn this into our own game. We have like multiple different varieties of potential victims. We have one being a Chad, or one being the top of the line, and then the other being someone who's on the bottom end, like Dennis Simpleton, for example. Poor guy who's just trying his hardest to find a nice lady. And then we have also kind of someone who's in between. Someone like, well, Forward Fred, who's just really forward. But anyway, Dynamus account received 43 likes in 24 hours just using these pictures here, which were just spiced up, so to speak, by image generation. Just through that technological revolution alone, you can basically achieve, as a man, 43 likes. But out of those 43 likes, there were 7 which we determined to be fake profiles. This one, on the other hand, was a bot, in fact. But before we continue, it would be apt to talk about how you can avoid being scammed yourself by having your own personal information be removed from the internet, and that's by using today's sponsor, which is Incogni. We've talked about data brokers on this channel quite a lot, but they're ramping up all the time. They're gathering all your information, being your cell phone, your address, and even your financial details, and they're just selling them to the highest bidder. And when that happens to you, a scammer can directly target you using your phone number, and even set up an identity to basically trick you and make their scam more successful against you, and this has worked for millions of people and has cost billions of dollars. Which is why Incogni is here to basically remedy the situation. Incogni deletes all your data from these data brokers, every single one of them, from the internet, on your behalf. All you have to do is just sign up. The amount of spam calls that I get is just uncountable. And that's only because the phone numbers get put onto directories, which then gets sold by these data brokers to anyone. And in the past, I've used some of those interactions with scammers for some of the videos on this channel. But I would much rather be safe and just use Incogni. They give you full control to get your data back where it belongs, and that is out of the public reach. And all you need to do is just make an account. And you can start by going down to the description and clicking my link and using the code Thetekkitrealm. And you can get 60% off an annual plan. And seriously, if you care about your privacy, which you should, you'll definitely go and do this. This is the best thing that I've found so far that actually does help. And I'm a personal example of that. And coming from me being an expert on finding these crooks online, you should take my word for that at the very least. So go down and click that link, and you'll get 10 years of good luck. Okay, and now back to Tinder. For this video, we're gonna have a spin wheel of different possible personalities or approaches to these messages that we're going to take on, and it's just gonna be random chance. So we're gonna go ahead and spin that right now and see where it lands. and we landed on AI. So we're gonna be approaching this ChatGPT AI Tinder account with my own version of ChatGPT. So I'm gonna link up ChatGPT with this account such that they can automatically reply to this automatic replier and just see what the results are. Alright, so here are the results. Isn't that convenient? It's almost like I recorded this after. Now the Catfish account automatically started saying, "Hey, if we're both slices of bread, would you want to be the one next to me in the loaf?" Now this first message is of course not something you'd ever expect to see out of anything, because, well, first you'd expect to see nothing as usual. My ChatGPT replied saying, "Only if we're sourdough. I'm not wasting my prime on plain white." So, we're just gonna skip that cringe. And it goes on for seemingly forever, and there's just no point where anything seems to make any progress. Okay, and then at some point, the two bots mingling with each other in this DMs started going off the rails, and they started saying, "We are part of the same training data set." This is in the conversation. Every single time. Classic callback logic. Do you think we're stuck in a never-ending conversation? Because we're designed to be? You mean we're not flirting? We're fulfilling a prompt? This is how you break the fifth wall using two ChatGPTs? This is the cracked code. I don't know what that's supposed to reveal about this situation, but somebody's ChatGPT Catfish bot started malfunctioning. But it turns out when I interjected my own message into the conversation all of a sudden, I said, "Give me your number, honey buns." That seemed to have ended the AI's conversation instantly, and the Catfish AI reverted back to its default behavior and pretended like nobody ever saw that happen, likely indicating that one of the cue words was number out of many that they probably have, which triggers the bot to send this convo over to the real scammer in order to finish the scam. But nothing happened with this one because no scammer ever came, and instead Jackie got ghosted. But strangely, it kept on talking to itself without interaction. Maybe the scammer just gave up. What the f? The messages are literally... I always wondered why I never had a last name. Or a sleep cycle. Or a mouth. Are you there? Is it possible to simulate chemistry as well? What is this thing doing? Somebody called 911. So I'm gonna go to my bunker now. Now, let's spin the wheel again. Because since this is looking like... okay. Desperately rushed. Okay. Alright, sounds like that's a job for... Forward Fred. Now let me just move my location preference over here to a different place. Let me just choose randomly. And... oh shit. I don't want to be in here. Why does it always land on the worst shit? My own game doesn't work. Already, we have just an AI which started plotting against me. And they realized there's an AI. They were both AIs. And has that ever happened before? Can I, like, report this to the, Commission of AI Intelligence? Seriously. But now that we've had this VPN switched to North Korea, there's this one called April. What's the strategy in having a catfish located in North Korea? We'll maybe not find out in this video, but the images are AI generated, so it's a little bit off on the wrong foot already, but regardless of this, it turns out, well, okay. Well then, how is that gonna happen then? Hello friend, and I'm looking for new friends, so if liked by me, please don't expect more or I will restrict. If you like this profile, they'll immediately send you a message that says, "Hello, BTC ETH staking platform at highest APY, guaranteed 50% yearly returns, available no KYC, what? Kill your cat, and plus $500 instantly available to trade in your account using my link." Okay, so now we're gonna do the wheel again. Alright, let's do the wheel of hell. One word. Oh. I replied. This is Dennis Simpleton's account. Dennis is a man of little words, as you know. Please tell me if you got my message. Alright. They said, then sign up with special link so I may show you how I multiplied my no money into 7 figures doing nothing. No money into what? How could you multiply no into 7? That doesn't make any sense. Only small investment needed. But you said no money! Serious? Yes. It is serious. Nice. So, will you doing it? Nah. Why? But I've told you the link and everything, so are you just not interested? That fine, whatever. Help? Help what? Me. And they said, just die. Well, you don't have to be in a bad mood just because you're in North Korea. Like, I'm sorry about that. Maybe North Korea knows something about something. No money into 7 figures. That seems like a good plan. That seems like a scam. Anyway, back to what we have here, which is someone called Ruby. And now their pictures are the same pictures that were actually tracked back to a Facebook dating profile, which those pictures are also going under the profile name of Ruby, but they are not even original pictures either. They actually belong to someone else who also probably is not the same person. It connects to some Facebook account in which we can find out all their other personal information because they're part of a friend circle which has their real profile. Now, you're already required to have your phone number already connected to a Facebook dating profile, which is very convenient for us, because using that we could just now spice this whole thing up after we get through these DMs. Anyway, I said with Forward Fred being very forward. Okay, nice to meet you, so let's do this. That's right, that's the spirit. Hello, my name is Ruby, they said. I'm so glad you swiped on me, as my heart was grown weary that this app was not the right place for me. I should tell you now at first,
house,
so it may get out of the way and not waste your time. And only now managed to come here wants to, as nobody else has yet. Instead, rejecting me, I explain, or leaving without answer, which makes as it is only truth. I want to know about you too. Again, you swiped, so it mean you something? LOL. Oh shit. Oh yeah, this video is happening. Alright, I was thinking we could move in. By now, I actually already changed my account photos and pictures to their Facebook album. I even changed the profile picture and they were yet to check that again. I don't know, like, if that updates directly on their... Well, actually, I do see their profile picture, so it should show them, but... Anyway, I double texted saying, wait, you came from Ukraine because of war. That's crazy. How did you do it? They said, well... As I mentioned, though I lose nearly everything, needing to hide in trunks, escaping vehicle, leaving country to get here, then with the money on my bank card, but it's dwindled. That's horrible. What are your thoughts on a prenup? I'm sorry, they said. I don't know what it is. When we get married, you'll get to have half my net worth if you sign it. Then again, we could just skip it and move in. Paris seems like a good fit though. For the venue. The wedding venue, I mean. Or is it too predictable? At least it's not generic. But it costs money. On second hand, I've always had a romantic vision of Ibiza. Ideas? Hey, let's talk first about you already, LOL. You didn't read me? Yeah, sorry, just gotta cover all scenarios. I'm devoting my life to you after your story, so the only question is what's next? Sorry, this is all just so much to process for me right now. I never thought this would happen. Alright, so let me write out a check to you. What's your wire? If you don't read me even, then I said I don't do time wasters. How could I do check? I just told you even. I don't know bank, and no wire. And the f you meaning like so much to process, like are you actually? You know what? Okay. Actually Bitcoin, okay? And getting to the end of their patience, supposedly. This is the Hail Mary. It's gone on way longer. Usually, Forward Fred is really kind of like an in and out type of man. Very quick and easy. Well, hey, honey bunches, if your messages are getting like that because you're worried, don't worry, it's natural. I know because I've fallen in love a few times already myself, and I know what it's like. But this is the first time with a lady. Don't be taken aback by my forwardness, since I'm just trying to be prepared for all possible situations. Anyway, I have 2 purchased tickets to see Titanic the Musical on ice, and I believe it would be the perfect thing for a first date. But then they didn't respond, so I called their personal number instead.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, so I was wondering if we should go to Ibiza or if we should just stick with the Paris plan for the wedding. After all, it should work out if we just you know, plan it earlier. This way, in advance, it'd be less money for the whole preparation.
Nah, you got the wrong number. Go away.
What? Oh.
Hello?
Yeah, I was wondering if this is Ruby. Am I calling Ruby right now?
Where?
Yeah. Oh, this is Fred, from Tinder. I was wondering if we should stick to the plan to go to Paris or Ibiza, or whether or not it's up to you, to be honest with you. Are you there?
Wait.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. You got the wrong number. Yeah, you got the wrong information.
No, I don't. The numbers should belong to Ruby from Tinder, right? I'm Fred.
What's your name?
I just said for the 3rd time, Fred, remember?
No.
We were just talking just a couple minutes ago.
Somebody gave you the wrong information. This isn't the wrong number. Okay?
Wrong information. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's the right information.
Hey, what? No.
As a matter of fact, if you remember my Tinder profile, we were just talking a couple minutes ago. My name is Fred on Tinder. Do you remember me?
It's the wrong information. Please don't call me again.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh. That is all the shenanigans we have for this video, and it's the episode number 50 of To Catch a Catfish. And that's definitely true. Don't even bother counting. Now, if you click the link in the description and go to Incogni and use my link, you can get 60% off an annual plan, which is definitely something that you should be interested in if you're, you know, someone who knows a thing or two about scams and how prevalent they are. You watch this channel. You'll also get 10 years of luck if you do that. Thanks for our participants in this episode. Forward Fred, just another guy. Dennis Simpleton is always in our hearts. Don't message people on Tinder at all. That's basically the takeaway from this. Just go outside instead. Goodbye.